One mini world, one creation dream.
So as I was telling you guys, we're gonna learn how to create a game that is gonna be a capture the flag game, okay? The name of the mini camp is the Brave Fight, but what we're gonna do is a CTF, a capture the flag map. Now, right now we are in the class number 4. That means that we left class number 5 next week and the final class on the next week too, okay? For this class, we're gonna learn something simple. We're just gonna create a capture the flag system. That's it. We're gonna focus on that. We don't gonna create a lot of things. We're just gonna create a good system, and with that, you will be able to have your map working already. Remember, guys, in the Discord group, you can find me, you can find Ear, and you can do a lot of things there. You can check the tools we have. If you have questions, you can ask me. So go ahead and try to join to the minicamp link in the description. So starting with the first topic, guys, we're gonna create the capture the flag system. So remember, guys, CTF stands for capture the flag, okay? And that's what we're gonna learn first. And for this, we're gonna have first to create our system, or let me explain how it works, guys. It's gonna be the easy way. If you have the theory, you will have also the good way to make it in real code, okay? So first thing, we're gonna create a database. For those that didn't know, a database is a lot of information that you place in game to avoid making more scripts. When you do a database before creating your triggers, it's gonna be much easier to edit. Most of the times what you do, or what most of you are gonna do, is that you're gonna create a trigger or a script for, as an example, capture the flag for the red team, and you're gonna duplicate the trigger, and you're gonna create the second one for the other team. The big problem with that is that every time that you need to edit something, you have to edit both triggers, and sometimes that could be very time consuming. It's easy to manage just one script or trigger for all the teams, so you don't have to worry. And the easiest way is, at the beginning, we're gonna create a database every time a player enters. So we're gonna create a lot of variables, and we're gonna tell the game that this player belongs to this team, this player has this color, this player has this flag, this player has this spawn position. So then later, with the other triggers, the system already knows what are the information about the players, and you don't have to do a lot more triggers or scripts for this, okay? So, answering the chat, Nyunki or Mitchell is asking me if she can replace the flag with food. Correct, you can do it. Don't worry for that, you can do it. You can place, as an example, food, you can place animals, you can place, I don't know, if you do a Mario, as a Mario capture the flag map, probably you can stole the other team princess, or if you do another game, you can stole the other team chickens, or you can do whatever you want. But the important thing is that the flag, or the item that replaces the flag, can be stolen and move it into the enemy base or into your base, okay? Next, when we create the database, coming back to the presentation, we're gonna create another couple of extra systems. And as we're gonna have the system for pick up the flag, that's very simple. When you actually hit the flag, and you can move the flag to the other team. And then we have the option to score a point. That's another thing that we're gonna do, okay? So first we create this, then we're gonna create a pick up the flag system, and to score the point system, that is gonna be very important. And then we're gonna have a system, of course, to unpick the flag, because this is gonna be the main thing. If you pick the flag and die, we have to recover the flag and place it into your base, okay? And of course, with this, we're gonna have something more that is gonna be to respawn the flag. Once you lose the flag, this flag is gonna be respawned, so players can pick up again the flag and can score the point. So that's how it works. As you see, it's a very simple system. We have some simple rules, and we're gonna create for this some some regions. Okay, so we're gonna use the tool mode. We're gonna create a region for the team base for each team. We're gonna create another region or another area for the team flag where it's gonna be placed, and finally we're gonna create the last one for making respawn the flag. So it's gonna be automatic every time the player access to that region, the flag is gonna be respawned, so the player will be able to pick the flag. Okay, so first thing first, what you're gonna do is we're gonna create an area for cover your team base. Okay, so in game, okay, when I'm in game, if I am in the red team and I access to this area, I'm gonna be healed. I'm gonna have okay, yeah, you see, so you're gonna be healed just in case you need to be healed, and your items are gonna be refilled. Okay, so check this. If I use this a lot, okay, you see I got a lot of this. I'm gonna drop some arrows, and when I reach this is gonna be refilled, so the team is always gonna have the advantage in their own base. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do to be able to do this is just switch to the tool mode. You can do it if you're in computer, in your PC with F3, and you're gonna create an area, okay, or a region. Region or area is the same. So what you're gonna do is to cover one of the corners of your lobby for each team, and you're gonna cover all the lobby. Okay, you don't need to do it up to the top, you just can do it like this. Okay, and then once you finish here, I recommend it to you to go ahead and rename it. Okay, so you click on here to see the list of the different regions. Not sure if you are able to see my screen, but I just gonna do a double check. Yes, you're able to see my screen. Now, guys, now that you are here, you're gonna see the name, you're gonna rename it, okay? So place any name you want it. The easy one is to place team base, and you can specify here, as an example, it's gonna be red. Okay, and confirm. And you see you got the name right here. Okay, as you see, I also create one for the blue team. Okay, you see here, you can see it. You're just gonna create another one in your team base for the other team. So remember, everything that one team has, you can add it into the other. Okay, once more, you place it here. We already create this. Now we're gonna create the team flag area or region. Okay, be sure it's gonna cover two things. First, it's gonna cover the corner where the area where you place the flag is gonna work. Okay, that means if you check here that we're gonna have basically all the part covered, so it's just gonna cover that part. Okay, you're gonna be sure that it's gonna be all around, because probably players will be able to build things here. I'm gonna create another one. Of course, I already create this one, but I'm gonna create one just to show you. Okay, so that's the one you're gonna create. Okay, and you're gonna rename it. Okay, I already got it here, of course, once more, but I'm gonna have to create here this same one. You're gonna rename it as flag and the color of the team. Okay, okay, the red team also has that one, you see here, and the blue team already has that created. Okay, you see here that we have the same area. Okay, now the last one that we're gonna create is the one that says respawn. Okay, so this one works for healed and recovery items for the team. This one works for spawn the flag and other things that I'm gonna teach you. And this one also works for respawn the flag. But what we're gonna do is that when any player enters here, we're gonna respawn the flag if there is no flag on the team, okay? And you're gonna reduce your settings to near, okay? And you're gonna place the area starting around at max. Let me measure the distance. At max, make it a distance of 15 on each side, the minimum amount, and the max 32. Okay, so remember, from this side to this side, 32 of distance, from the center to the corners, 25. Okay, and we're gonna do is just create that area. Okay, basically it's gonna spawn the flag in case the flag is not created yet. Okay, so just click on here, you just go ahead, you move it, and you cover this area, just being sure that your area covers all the part where the players access. So, as an example, if I'm from the red team and I access this base, here I won't be able to see the center, but if I go here, the flag is gonna spawn, so you will be able to see it. Okay, it's just to be sure that the flag is always gonna be there. Okay, and you're gonna rename it. Of course, you're gonna rename it as spawn flag blue. Okay, and also remember you have one for this team and one for the other. Okay, I already created here. I actually call it as refill flag blue. You can call it any name, but remember that you have to remember that it's gonna be the area where you can spawn the flag. Okay, now guys, let's move to creating the database. That's gonna be when we're gonna start to make the triggers. So it's gonna set up all the variables, so you don't have to do extra work later. You can manage only one trigger for all the things. So how it works, guys, check this screen. Okay, you're gonna go to developer tools. Once you're here, you're gonna move to triggers, and in triggers you're not gonna have this. What you're gonna do is to create a new trigger set, and the name of the set you can set up right here just by clicking on rename. It's gonna be database. Okay, set up. Okay, that's the name, but I already got it right here. So inside the database, what you're gonna do is that you are gonna create a new trigger, and please name that trigger as team database red. Okay, which is the one that I got already here. Okay, we're gonna start with red, then we're gonna just copy paste and change the options for the other team. Okay, so moving back to the presentation, I mentioned we're gonna have two different triggers. It's the same trigger, but it's gonna say different information for each team. Okay, so what we're gonna do with this, we're gonna set up the variables for player. That much easier. Okay, we don't gonna do anything like complicated. It's really easy. So we're gonna go to triggers, and we're gonna start with the event. The event is when the player enters. So for this, you're just gonna add a new event. You're gonna go to player, and in player, you're gonna go to the option that says player enters area. Okay, that is gonna be the one that you see right here. Just give me a second. Okay, it seems that I opened too many words. Okay, it's okay. Okay, so you're gonna add players enters area, and you have these options. Okay, so player enters area, when any players enters, and in here you're gonna choose the area that you create that was the team area for the team red. Okay, that was the first one that you created. It means if I use the tool, it's gonna be the area for your team base. That is gonna be this one. Okay, it's gonna be the one that covers the lobby for the red team or the blue team, but in this case we're gonna select the red team. Okay, now in condition we're gonna check the players team. So just go ahead to here, players, and we're gonna select determine players team. Okay, once we select players team, probably you're gonna see this. This is very important, guys. You need to expand here, and then here you need to select the players in trigger event. Okay, once in the center you need to select and be sure that yes is activated, and then here in the options you're gonna select red team. Remember, we're gonna start with the red team. That's the most important part. Okay, all right, don't worry if you have an error, because probably you're gonna have it. So if you got any error, just go back and check and be sure that this is set up like I have in the screen. Okay, Next, we're gonna set up the first variable, okay? So what you're gonna do is just to click in actions and you add a new action. The action is gonna be called right here assign, okay? Assign will allow us to set up different variables. Remember guys, a variable is like a box. A box, an empty box in which actually you can place anything. Let me do a quick example here. Okay, so how it works, like a box, okay? A variable, okay, yeah, here is writing, okay? A variable, it's like a box, okay? It's a box that you can name. As an example, I can name as a next, and I can place anything inside this box. So when I need to tell someone, hey, bring me whatever is in the box, I'm not gonna say that the object that is in the box, I'm just gonna say, just give me the box, okay? It's like renaming things, okay? So we're gonna use one of them, and the first one that we're gonna use is value. Value allows you to set up any number, okay? Anything related with numbers will be able to be set up, or yeah, just set it up in value, okay? So you're gonna select value setup, and you're gonna have this interface, okay? So sets, here we need to mention the variable which we're gonna set up. Remember, there are two kinds of variables, global variables and private variables. Remember, also you can find all your variables here, okay? So global variables are all the things that are gonna work for the map or for the game, for all the people or all the players are gonna be the same. As an example, okay, fully sorry for that. It seems that Alexa auto-activates itself. Just a second. Alexa, turn off the music. Okay, now it's sorry for that. Once more, coming back to global variable. Global variables are gonna be the things that are gonna be the same for all the people in the game. As an example, the gravity is a global variable. If you change the gravity, all the gravity in the map is gonna change. The weather is gonna be a variable. So if the weather is sunny, it's gonna be sunny for all the players. While private variables are gonna be different for each players. That means that each players can have their own values. As an example, the life or the HP bar is gonna be different for each player. Another one are gonna be the name. The name is also variable. So the name for each player is gonna be different. So that's the difference. And we're gonna start work a lot with private variables because we're gonna set up everything for the players, okay? So you're gonna have here this. What you're gonna do is just, you need to go here. And on here, you're gonna have a lot of options. As you see, if you scroll up here, you don't have too much variables because those are gonna be the global variables. If you want to implement a private variable, you need to go to function, you need to go to player, and in here, whenever you click on player, it doesn't matter if it's any kind of condition, but whenever you choose players, you're gonna see here something that says players private variable, and on there, you're gonna have this one, okay? That is gonna allow you to actually choose the variable library. And as you see, I have a lot up here. You're gonna create a new one. How do you create a new one? You just click on here, new variable, and you put the name, okay? As an example, I'm gonna do example 123, okay? I'm just gonna press close, and as you see, you're gonna see the private variable here. But don't worry, just select the one that says player team or create one, name it as a player team, okay? Remember, the one that we're gonna use is player team. So it's gonna look like this. Right here, you already have the condition. Now, we're gonna do the same. We're just gonna copy and paste. And the second one has the same features, but here we're just gonna create another variable. And what we're gonna create is enemy team. So remember, first one was player, this one is gonna be enemy team. So this one will give you an error. So remember, for this one, player team is not. It's gonna be enemy team, okay? This is the one that we're gonna select, okay? Correct. And very important, the first one was the number 1, the second one is the number 2, okay? What it means that for this player, the enemy team is gonna be the team number 2 or the blue team, and for the player team, sorry, For the player team, it's gonna be the number 1, okay? So same team for the player is gonna be the player number 1. So, guys, once more, remember, we're gonna set up the first one as the same team that the player is having, that is the team 1, and the enemy team is gonna be the team blue, that is gonna be the number 2, okay? Now, we're gonna set up a new variable that is gonna be, for this we're just gonna add a sign, and we're gonna select creature type, okay? Remember, we have this one and this one. This one is the one that is not gonna work, and this one is the one that's gonna be working, okay? So we're gonna use creature type setup, okay? Once we add it, we're gonna just duplicate here, and as you see, we have here some options. So once more, as we're gonna do, if we just expand, we're not gonna see any variable, because remember, this is global variables. This is gonna give us an error, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move here, we're gonna go to player, and we're gonna select player's private variable, okay? So there we're gonna have these options, okay? And we're gonna select here, and as we did the last time, we're gonna create a new variable that the name is gonna be flag enemy, okay? So that's gonna be the flag for the enemy. Sorry for the spelling, for the grammar, I put it wrong, but you can place the right name, is flag enemy, okay? And here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open template library, and we're gonna select which one is gonna be the flag that the player needs to pick up, not their own flag. We're gonna choose the enemy flag, okay? So remember, for this player, the red is gonna be wrong. The one is gonna be this one, the blue one, okay? So for the red team, okay? Now we're gonna close everything, and it looks like this. Remember, if you don't know how to create this one, this creature we created last class, just check the last class, okay? No. Remember that here we have teams, okay? Let me switch back to here, okay? We already created this. Let me do a double check. Yes, it's working. So on this one, the first one is gonna be the team as the player is gonna belong. So number 1 is gonna be red team. Number 2 is gonna be blue team. Where you can check that, okay? So you can go here to map rules, and as you see, the team 1 is the number red, and the team 2 is blue, okay? 1 red, 2 is blue, okay? That's it. That's how it works here. So remember the first one. Sorry, guys. I need to really drink some water here. A second. Okay, so remember, guys, the first one is gonna be the same team. That means, once more, player team is gonna be number 1 is gonna be red, because we choose team 1 here, okay? Team 1 red. And number 2, it's gonna be the blue team, the enemy team, okay? So as you see here, in the other one, team 2 blue, it's gonna be the first one, okay? And the second one is gonna be the enemy team, okay? All right, perfect. So now we already set up this one, that is the creature. We're gonna close it, and we're gonna add a new one, okay? Remember, we are just assigning values because it's gonna be easier to manage everything after that, okay? So in assigned, we're gonna go, and what we're gonna do is select item type setup, okay? This one is the one that we're gonna use. And you're gonna check in here, you need to have the same information, player's private variable, item value, okay? How do you do this? Once more, you need to click on here, and you're not gonna have anything like here, because if you choose here something, it's gonna be wrong, okay? Remember, to do it in the global variables, it's not gonna be okay. You need to choose function library, and what you're gonna do is to select player's private variable, okay? And when you do that, you're gonna have those two options. The first one, you have to keep it in players and trigger event, and in here, you're gonna create another variable, okay? So the name is gonna be enemy flag item, okay? It's very similar to the last one, but remember, the one that we created before is the creature, the second one is the item, okay? Remember, we create those items on the last class, okay? So you're gonna select that one, and on here, it's gonna ask you to select which one it's gonna be. So select template library, and in here, you're gonna have all the items. Just scroll down and go to custom, and you got your items here, right? So probably you're gonna have a Mopek. These are not gonna be the right ones. Remember that these are gonna be just creatures. You have to select the one that you create that is an item, okay? So in my case, it's gonna be flu. Remember that if we are setting up the team red, the flag is gonna be the enemy team. So it's gonna be enemy flag item. It's gonna be blue because we are setting the team red, okay? Okay, so now that's it with this. You're gonna have set up the item that he needs to pick up and the item that is gonna bring to that player when he pick up the flag. So we're gonna transform the creature into an item. Then we're gonna set up a string, okay? So that's gonna make things easier when we send messages. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and assign. We're gonna move here to the one that says set character string right here. And on there, we're gonna do just the same that we do. We're gonna create a private variable. So remember on here, you don't have anything that's gonna be wrong. What you're gonna do is just go to function library, player, and player private variable, and in player private variable, choose players in trigger event, just as we did the last time. And in variable library, we're gonna choose team color, okay? We're gonna create a new variable that the name is gonna be team color, and we're gonna select team color. And on here, we need to write down the color, okay? So you can do this code, or you just can click and say hashtag red to set up the team red, and you're gonna put the name of the team, okay? In my case, it's gonna be team red. You can choose whatever here. As an example, Kingdom, I don't know, Arcadia, okay? Or whatever you want it. In my case, I just gonna keep it as a red team. It's gonna be easier for teaching. Okay. And you're just gonna copy and paste here. Copy and paste in the same script. And what you're gonna do in here is just change here. This, create a new variable, and it's gonna be the enemy team color, okay? So remember, first we create that one, now we're gonna create this one. And you're gonna set up once more as a team blue, okay? So the first one was team red, now you're just gonna change the color. Remember, this is the color for blue, and you select team blue. And that's it, you're gonna have the two colors, okay? Now we're gonna set up some areas here. As you see, it's just set up things, it's not too complicated. And what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna add a variable related with areas, okay? So once more, we're gonna scroll down to assigned. We're gonna select area setup, guys. Okay, we're gonna select area setup. In an area setup, we're gonna do this. We're just gonna do the same. We are gonna go to function library. We're gonna select player private variable. Once more, we're gonna expand. We're gonna select players in trigger event. And in here, as I mentioned before, you're gonna create this variable, team area, okay? And you're gonna select the area that you just created, okay? So remember, we created this area, the team base, the flag, and the refill. We're gonna select the team base, okay? That's gonna be red area. Now we're gonna copy, paste, and in the second one, we're gonna choose the enemy area, okay? So once more, you need to expand here. And this time, you're gonna create a new variable, and you're gonna call it as an enemy team area, okay? You're gonna select that one, and you're gonna set up that one as the team base for the blue team, okay? Remember, this is gonna be the enemy, this is gonna be yours. Now we're gonna just copy and paste again. As you see, it's very repetitive, but it's gonna be the same, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna access and I'm gonna say greetings to Jaka Chancy. Alright, but moving back here. What you're gonna do is just change here. You're gonna open up and create a new variable. You're gonna call it as a team flag area. And remember, on here, we're gonna select the team flag area that in my case for this team is gonna be the red one, okay? And in this one, you are gonna copy and paste again, and you're gonna create a new variable. The name is gonna be enemy team flag area. And you're gonna do the same. You're gonna select team blue instead of team red this time, because we are setting up like our team, the enemy team flag. And once you finish that, the only thing that left is that we're gonna create a color for the special team, okay? So how do you do that? It's very easy, guys. The way you do it, the best way to do it is just to add in a special effect also in the database. So what you're gonna do is just go here, guys, once more. I know this is a little bit large process, but it's gonna be easier later, okay? What you're gonna do is just set up a type of special effect, okay? And once you finish that, you're just gonna move to that's the same action, and you're gonna do the same. As always, we're gonna choose function library, we're gonna choose player private variable, and we're gonna expand, we're gonna choose players and trigger event, and you're gonna create a new variable. The name is gonna be team effects. And here you can choose any effect, okay? I already have mark 11 here. In my case, you can choose whatever you want, but as you see, it's gonna be the indicator about which team is stalling the flag, okay? So I recommend it to you to choose the enemy team flag around, so the players, when they pick up the flag, you're gonna see this around the player, okay? And that's it. We already finished our first part. For the second part, for the second one, what you're gonna do is just copy, okay? You're gonna paste it up, and you're gonna rename it. If you got it as red, what you're gonna do is rename it as blue. Yeah, and I'm gonna put a 2 here because I already created here, but it's just to show you. And what you're gonna do is to change all the features, okay? I already got it created here, but I show you how I did it. So, if here you see red team, when a player access to the, of course, we're gonna change it to the team blue, okay? As you see, what we're gonna do is just to copy and replace the information. So we need to be sure that for the second team is gonna be for the team blue. As you see, it's gonna be much easier to modify. So the first one, that was this one, for the second time is gonna be inverted. So my team is gonna be the blue, okay? Remember, player team is gonna be blue because I put here team 2 blue, okay? And on here, what we're gonna do is the same, the enemy, well, which gonna be our enemy this time is gonna be the red team, right? Because we are setting up the blue team, okay? Now we got here some information. It says, what is gonna be the flag for the enemy? It's gonna be the red flag, right? So we're gonna change it. Remember, it's gonna be the enemy flag, okay? And which gonna be the item that I'm gonna have once I pick up the flag? It's gonna be the red flag, right? Remember, don't choose the mob egg, just choose the item, okay? And so on, you need to change everything here. So remember, here it says red team. Well, we need to change it. Our name, the name of our team is gonna be blue team, okay? Because we are the blue team. Okay, and in the second one, this one, we gonna place here the art, and we're gonna set him red, okay? As you see, what I'm doing right now is inverting all the things for the other team, for the team blue. So if it serves that your team area is the red, of course, as we set up the blue team here, what we're gonna do is to set up our team that is gonna be blue, right? Okay, so it says that the enemy, sorry, it's here. Okay, I got a lot of items here, but okay, yeah. Here it says what is the enemy team area, okay? And the enemy team area, it's gonna be the team red, right? Cool. Now, we got what are gonna be our flag. We're gonna choose our flag area, that is gonna be the blue. And then we're gonna change enemy area for the team red flag area, okay? As you see, it's very easy once you got copied. And finally, on here, as we got our effect, when we capture the enemy flag, we're gonna select here, we're gonna select mark, and as we are the blue team, we're gonna select the enemy color, okay? So it's gonna be red. And that's it. Of course, I'm gonna delete this because I already got it here. We have all the setups for the blue team and all the setups for the red team, okay? If you want also to take a screenshot to see the setups, you can see it right here. Now I'm gonna teach you how to pick up the flag. That means that you will be able to create a pickable flag and, well, just deliver that flag to the enemy. Just stole from the enemy and deliver it to your base, okay? So how it works? Basically, we're gonna have the capture the flag folder. That's what we're gonna create right now. And we have two different triggers. The first one that is pick up flag. What it's gonna do is very easy. Every time that you collide with the creature that is the flag, is gonna give you the item of the flag and it's gonna tell the other players that you have the flag. And then of course we need a way to remove that flag from the players. So if the players die, you're gonna clean up everything and we're gonna remove that flag from the players. So that means that the players will be able to pick up back the flag, okay? That's the system that we're gonna do right now. That's the system that we're gonna make, okay? So, be ready. I'm gonna... Don't be overcome, don't be overwhelming because it's gonna be easier, okay? Don't be wasted. Don't feel like it's a fatality. It's gonna be very easy. Okay, so let's move into Miniware to make this. Okay, as I mentioned before, it's gonna be very easy. So once more, this class is gonna be most related with triggers in comparison with the previous one. So really, it's gonna take a little bit more of time. Okay, so first we're gonna create a new trigger set. The name of the trigger set is gonna be CTF. Once more, it's easier than just type capture the flag, just type CTF. Okay. And what? Oh, okay, yeah, I realized that. So let me switch there. Yeah, now you can see it a little bit better, okay? Sorry for that, as I have to change the code for the chat because it was not working very well. I just changed this and probably it's not working very fine because it's covering everything. Let me try to fix this very quick. Just a second, guys. Let me... Okay, now it's better, right? Now it's not covering everything. You will be able to see it a little bit better. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, I'm gonna move here. Let me reduce the size of this so it's not cover everything. Yeah, that's much better. Just let me know in to the chat if it's a little bit better than the previous one, okay? So, moving back to Miniware, what we're gonna do is to create a group of triggers, name it CTF. Then we're gonna create a new trigger and we're gonna rename it as a pickup flag, okay? That's it. Pickup flag. It's actually, you don't have to place it or to put too much information in it. The only thing that we need is that it's gonna be called a pick flag, okay? Once you're here, don't worry, you're gonna see a lot of triggers, but I'm gonna be faster. Remember that you can just pause the video anytime. You can check the resume, that is also gonna have that one, okay? So, first one, we're gonna add a new event. We're gonna go to players, creatures, and there is one that says collision, okay? You're gonna select that one, okay? Okay, not sure if it's that one. Let me see if player have another collision. Sorry, is the one that is for player? Yes, it's the one for player. So remember, add the one that says player, not creature, right here. Just use this one, collision, okay? So when any player collides, remember that you can see here which parameters is gonna give you, okay? So once you do that, what we're gonna do is to check a condition. So we're gonna use math and we use numerical comparison, okay? Once we got this, you can do the next thing, okay? So what you are gonna do is in the first one, in the first space, you're gonna go to function, you're gonna go to group, okay? Sorry, numerical group. In here you have a lot of options, okay? What you're gonna do is to choose ID in the value group, okay? As you see here, you're gonna have ID in the value group and you have these options, right? So a group is very similar to a variable, but you have a lot of variables in the same way. So we will gonna create a group. But very important, guys, we're gonna create a private group, okay? So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna go to function library, okay? Then we're gonna go to player and we're gonna select player's private variable, okay? And probably it's not gonna let you open this if you don't select this first, okay? So the ID value, and here you don't have to go to function library. The group is global. Now I remember I made a mistake before. It's a global group, so you're just gonna expand here. Remember, you don't have to go on this one on here. You're gonna go directly to here and you're gonna select flag status. You're gonna create this one, okay? Once you select it, it's gonna allow you to choose options here. In the options, you're gonna select once more function library, player private variable, and in player private variable, select players in trigger event and enemy team, okay? So remember, we already create this. You're gonna select enemy team. It's equals to 0. What we are checking here is if the flag is removed, okay? Now, we're gonna add another one. We're gonna go to player, and on here, there is a lot of options, but it's the one that says number of owned items, okay? Number of owned items is gonna be the items that the player has, so we're gonna add here. And remember, I told you when you hit the flag, you're gonna have a flag in the hands as an item in the inventory. Well, we're gonna check that the player is not gonna have anything. So be sure here you place and you select this one that says less or equals to 0. That means that the player has no items related to flag. And finally, after we check that the status in game for the flag is not picked and the player has not a previous flag on the inventory, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go to creature and determine creature type. So we're gonna check that the player actually hits the enemy flag, okay? So as we already made the first script, the one about the database that we set up a lot of things, the only thing that we need to do is to select target creature in event, yes. We're gonna go here, we're gonna select a function library, we're gonna select player and player's private variable, okay? And in player's private variable, we're gonna select players in trigger event, and we're gonna select the variable that we already have, that is flag enemy, okay? And that's it. As you see, that's why we make this, because now it's much easier to create triggers without having to duplicate the triggers, okay? Those are gonna be the conditions, guys. Now let's switch to the actions, okay? So first, we're gonna tell the game that the flag is already picked up. For this, we now use the group, and the first action is gonna be set the ID. So we're gonna go scroll down, and you're gonna search for the one that says group. And here we have a lot of options. This is confusing sometimes. So we're gonna have the options, set the value. We also have the option to insert, to add values, to set up the values of, or we have a lot of options, okay? So the first one that we're gonna use is set the value of a specific number in a group, okay? Once more, go ahead, set the value of a specific number in a group, okay? This one is gonna set up as a nil, but you need to search the one that says set value on the specific number in a group. Be sure that this is the one that says not null, because if you do this, you're not gonna have the same options. You're gonna select this one, okay? Sorry. Okay, it's gonna give you these two options. Of course, I already created up here, so don't worry for this. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go here and you're gonna set up the next thing. First, you're gonna go to function library, you're gonna go to player and choose player's private variable. On there, you're gonna set up the next thing, remember that we already create this variable. So be sure that you select here enemy team and players in trigger event. Now on the middle, you're gonna select number group, okay? So you're gonna have those options and you're gonna select the one that says number group. Once you expand it, you're gonna select here the variable, remember not the function library, just in the normal one, it's a global one, flag status, okay? And then we're gonna set up to a value, we're gonna assign a value and we're gonna assign to 1. 1 means that the flag is being captured, okay? Now, next step is gonna be easier. You're just gonna go to creature and you're gonna select remove creature. You're gonna select remove creature and you're gonna select creature in target event, okay? I talked too much. Let me take a little bit of air, breathe a little bit. Okay. All right. So now next, what are we gonna do, guys? We already tell the game that the flag is captured. Now we're gonna, and we remove the creature, we remove the flag. Now we're gonna add the item for the players. How do you do that? You're gonna go here, and I see that the music is not working. Let's play this. Let's reduce the music a little bit. Now it's just stronger. Now it's gonna be better, okay? So guys, now we are already gonna select here to player and we're gonna add some items. You're gonna select add item, okay? And in items, we have a lot of options here. You're just gonna select one here and players in trigger event. In the middle, we're gonna do just function library, player, and players in private variable. Remember, always you see in my screen players private variable, you need to select the private variable and always you see in players, okay? So you select function, players, and players private variable. If you expand right here, you're gonna select this, okay, that is players in trigger event. Then you're gonna select from the variables, you're gonna select the one that says enemy flag item. So that's it. Okay, right now it's gonna add the player, or it's gonna give the player the item. Now we're gonna tell the game to all the players, hey, this player captured the flag, okay? So how do you do that? You're gonna go here, you're gonna go to player group, and on here there is a lot of options. There is one that says display chat info to player group, okay? So that's gonna show a chat for all of them. Remember, it's the one that says player group, not the one that is in players. On here, you're gonna select function, player group, all the players. And on here, we're gonna do a string concatenation. What is a string concatenation, guys? It allows you to just mix or mesh two different texts together, okay? Remember, strings or text is the same. It's just text, okay? So we're gonna go to function library and we're gonna do a string concatenation. That is gonna give you two different options. So you can have something like this. You don't need to do it as I do. I do a lot of string concatenation because I'm using the flag, okay? But what you can do is just use one, okay? So in the first one, you're gonna add here, you're gonna to function library and you're gonna choose player name, okay? It's gonna tell your players which player is gonna pick the flag. So you select player name. And in the second one, you can type yourself. Of course, you have the option to translate, as an example here. If you click here, it's gonna translate everything automatically. And the text I put has captured the flag. You can put the flag here if you're gonna make it easier. If you don't wanna make it easier, of course, you can select which team and everything, but I recommend it to do it this way, is easier. So just put it, this player captured the flag, okay? Now, once you have a string concatenation, what we are gonna do is to add the special effect to the player, so the player is gonna see it, or all the other players gonna see that that player had the flag. How do you do it? You're just gonna go here, you go to special effects, it's right here, and you're gonna place special effect on players, okay? You're gonna select this one, and right here you're gonna have some options. You're gonna do a private variable. So remember, you always go to function library and you select the plier, okay? The plier option. And as you see in plier, you have the option to choose a private variable. So you select that one. And on here, you expand once more and you select pliers in trigger event. And in variable, you're gonna select team effects. It's already created. It's the one that we create before. And we're gonna create it on pliers and trigger events, and the size is 1.5. That's gonna be very easy. Now, if you want also make a sound, I always play sounds for the pliers because it's gonna let them know that they actually having a feedback, that they already pick up the flag. How do you do that? You're gonna go here, you're gonna go to sound effect, you're gonna go pliers turn on sound effect, and when you finish that, you're gonna move here and you're gonna choose plier and trigger event, and here you can select the sound. I'm using the sound that you're gonna hear right now. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's Mark 1, okay? That's the sound I'm using. Okay, be sure that loop is false, or otherwise it's gonna repeat itself a lot of times. And right after that, you almost got it, okay? Next, I'm gonna create a line, okay? That's gonna help us a lot because you're gonna see the line actually where is located the plier, and the plier will see where he has to drive the flag, okay? So how do you do that? For creating lines, and remember with this you also can do some tutorials, you go to display window. No, sorry, it's not display window, it's display information, okay? So in display information, you can create a lot of things. So what you're gonna do is create display information on plier. You're gonna select that option. And what you're gonna do is that you have some options here. From the options, you're gonna select a gate, it's gate pointing to target location, okay? We have a lot. You're gonna be sure that says guide are pointing to location, okay? That's the one that we gonna use. On here you can see different options. The first one is where we're gonna point it. So you're gonna select function library and you're gonna select central location of an area, okay? In central location of an area, you can select which area, okay? So to make it easier, you're not gonna choose here, you're gonna go here and go to plier and choose plier private variable. Remember that at the beginning we set up a lot of different areas. Well, we're gonna use the one of them. We're gonna use the flag one, okay? So where it says team flag area, we're gonna select that one. So it doesn't matter if the player is from the red team or the blue team, it's always gonna point his flag area, okay? Now for the size, choose 0.5, otherwise it's gonna be too big. On here, you can go ahead and you can choose a specific color. I recommend it to use a neutral color. Don't use red or blue because that's gonna be for the same team and it's gonna be complicated. And the ID, it's gonna be 1. This is gonna be for pliers in trigger event. Okay, and this is gonna be point towards below, and the distance is gonna be 30 blocks. All right, so now that you got this information, let me see what we got here. Okay, yeah, this is a part. You don't need to do this, just end it here because I have some extra features, but that's gonna work with my script. You don't need to do those last two options, okay? So what we do here is the next thing. Let me show you. So what we do is this. As you see, the sound changes. We have the effect that we have the red flag and we have something pointing here. That's what we made with the last script we made. Now, the last one that left is that every time we die, actually this is gonna be deleted. So that means that, as an example, if I exit from the arena, well, I'm not gonna have the flag, so everything is gonna be clean up, okay? Remember, this is my UID, okay? And remember that you can reach me back into the Discord group, okay? That will be it for now. Thank you so much for staying with me and see you for the next class the next week. Bye bye guys, bye bye everyone in the chat.